Okay. So, Erica, if you could just do me a favor and just check in the team page and make sure that they're able to get on for me, that would be wonderful as I start this. Okay, so tonight is October 19th. We are coming up toward the end of the month. Just I feel like I blink and that's what it is again, which is absolutely crazy. Super excited you guys are all here. We have an awesome guest speaker on tonight. I know you guys have heard from her before, but she's had a lot of insane stuff happening in her business lately. So I was like, I need to bring her back on. And she hosted an incredible diamond retreat for us a couple weeks ago. And I told you guys a little bit about that. And I don't know, I just felt like I needed to bring her back because as we're coming toward the end of the year, we're all pushing for some pretty awesome goals. And every time that I needed pumped up or motivated, I like go to Rachel because she always like has the words to say. She always knows what to do to like get my butt in gear. And I'm super excited to have you back on tonight. But before we get started, I do have a little bit of things I want to talk about really quickly. First off, I do want to introduce Kristen, who's on the call for the first time tonight. Now, I haven't even introduced her on the team page. So like literally she is like signing up tonight. But I wanted her on the Zoom chat so she could get a vibe for our team. Kristen is, she is familiar with Beachbody and she's ready to take her business to the next level and try this thing out. And I'm excited to have you here. So welcome to our team. I hope that I'm excited to see what you accomplish on here. So yeah, she'll be introduced later on tonight, but you guys have already met her. So there you go. Second thing is, team shirts. I have that link in our team page. I'm submitting that tonight. So if you want one, tonight's the last night to do that. I'll be submitting that so that they can get out and get out to us quickly because I have people, especially Alicia, that's her diamond gift and she's been diamond for like 8 weeks and I still haven't gotten it to her yet. So I need to get that submitted and into custom make. So if you guys want one, go ahead and order that tonight. Shout out to Stephanie, who is officially Emerald 4. Which means that she has 4 people on each leg, and she is our Emerald 3.5. She almost has her 4th on the other side, so 3.5. But she's moved up really quickly, and it's funny because her Emerald date on our first call, she's like, I want to be Emerald by October 15th, and then she was like Emerald 3 by that day. So it's pretty funny. She's busting butt in this business, and it's pretty awesome to see. And she's already she's talking to a prospective coach already. And she's pushing for diamond by November 17th. So let's all hold her accountable and get excited with her because she's pushing this big time. I know Leah's pretty close right now. Also, Ashton, shout out to Ashton, who has brought on 2 coaches and hit Success Club in 2 days. So Ashton is also on fire right now. Shout out to Martha, who's officially launching her business. We had a great Get Started Right call last night, and I'm super excited. Martha was telling me last night how shy she was, and she was just like, oh, and she was like so excited, and I just got to see her and get to know her a little bit better, and that was super awesome. So I'm just like going through and making sure that I'm not missing anybody. But we have a lot of great stuff happening on our team. A couple people aren't on, obviously, but we're moving, guys. We're moving quick, and we have a lot of exciting stuff happening. So I'm really pumped up about that. So shout out and congratulations to all you guys. Before we hand this over to Rachel, I wanted to let Erica unmute for just a second. Erica and I just got back from an incredible diamond retreat in Amelia Island, Florida. And you guys have heard me talk about Rachel. As you heard how inspired I came back after that. So I could do that same thing again, or I could let one of your teammates that was able to be there kind of share what that whole thing is about. So Erica, if you could just take like 2 or 3 minutes and just share what that experience was like for you, because this is something that is on my vision board for 2017, and I'll talk a little more about that in a second. But yeah, Erica, what were your, I guess, your big takeaways from the weekend?
Yeah, okay. I'd love to share. I know from social media, I'm sure it looks like the biggest takeaways were we had a blast. We did. There were a lot of fun things we did. We learned a lot as well. But I think the things that I'm going to remember the most, like from the whole weekend, is just being there with all these leaders. And I know sometimes like we feel stuck in our business maybe, or we forget what has happened in a little bit of time. But I kept being reminded that I've been in this business for 9 or 10 months and this has happened. And I know Kelsey felt that way too. Like, yeah, she's been in business longer, but this year, look in these boxes, this has happened. So that was really cool to be reminded, because sometimes I think we get in our day-to-day action of, oh, Success Club might be a little hard this month, or my conversations aren't going that great. But it was really nice to be reminded that like hard work really does pay off. Nothing is guaranteed. We all know that. But when you put down to it, it's really awesome to see that. Of course, being like rewarded, my pictures on the wall, no more Purdue sign behind me. You know, big things like that were really fun. But we were in this little tree house. So it wasn't little, but we were in this house that was surrounded by trees called the tree house. We were in Florida, but we stayed inside the whole time. And the only time we went outside was to work out. And I wasn't mad at all. Like, I thought we were going to Florida. I packed a swimsuit, you know, but we were inside, but the time just flew by because we were surrounded by positive energy for 4 days. We didn't hear about politics. We didn't hear about anything negative. It was all positive people who all want positive things from their life. And literally, it was just a positive experience the whole entire time. And I just will never forget it. So the fact that I got to go was one thing. And then just soaking it all in, it's taken me a few days to really like reflect. And I'm not even sure that I can just put into 2 minutes like how I feel about the experience. But we all need to take time to really step back sometimes and think like these big things that happen to all these big names and shiny things and stuff, they can happen if you put your head down and make it work. And I know some people are rank driven and money driven, whatever drives you, like that can happen for you with hard work and time. And sometimes I know we forget that. So it was just a really cool experience. One, to be with all these people that you only meet in a Zoom box, and then all of a sudden they're like real life. And it's that awkward moment of being like, hi, I really know you, but I don't know you. And then like 2 minutes later, it's just like you're talking to friends. And then like I posted today, like Women Crush Wednesday, like it literally was like, I wonder what so-and-so is doing like with their husband tonight, or, you know, like, cause they feel like they're your friends. And so it's just a really wonderful experience, and I can't wait to do it with this group too. So I rambled like normal.
That was awesome. And like, and you guys know how, and honestly, I do want to shout out Rebecca and Alicia, because they both earned that trip too. They couldn't make it, but they both earned that trip. They busted their butts to get there. And I'm so proud of what both of you accomplished too. Even though you weren't there, you were there in spirit, and we love you guys. And honestly, I asked Natalie this weekend, I said, when should I do this for my team? And she goes, honestly, like there's never going to be that time where you're going to feel comfortable spending the money doing it, but you just need to reward them for what they do. Like it means so much to them and to yourself to like see what you guys have done. So I'm super excited to announce dun, 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 that our first diamond retreat will be in 2017. It's going to be a beach retreat, because that is what you guys know me. I am a beach girl. So this next year is going to be a lot of hard work. It's going to be fun, but it's on my vision board, and we'll be hosting our own diamond retreat next year. And I'm excited to give to you guys what was given to me literally twice in a matter of a month. And I can't wait for you guys to feel just as inspired as I felt and that Erica felt. And it shouldn't be something because you just said want to go on vacation, guys. You should want this like so bad, because you get to be surrounded by your team and just grow beyond belief. So we've talked enough. I'm going to introduce I don't know where that is yet though. Zach and I we started talking about it. Zach's on board, and we don't know where, but we know it's definitely going to be next year. So we're excited to share that with you guys. So Alicia's like, yeah, Team Zach. Yeah, Zach's diamonds. Zach's like my diamonds. But it's hilarious. So, oh, I see Christine on here. Christine's a new coach too. Welcome on, girl. We're super excited you're here. All right, so let's get down to our guest speaker. So for the new coaches on here, we talk a little bit at the beginning, but I tend to like to bring on guest speakers because I tell you guys this every week. Like I can tell you guys the same things over and over and over again, but I think it's really good to hear it from other people, to hear how other people got to be successful. And Rachel has come on our team call before, but there's a reason she's back. And I said at the beginning of this call, for those of you that hopped on a little late, she is that person that I can go to whenever I need a swift kick in the ass, to say it lightly. Whenever I'm feeling like, okay, maybe I'm not on the right track, she can always get me back on track. And we, as a team, have a lot of huge stuff coming up in the next couple of months. And for you personally, like, you should be having your head down and getting ready to get to work as you get ready for 2017. But Rachel is here to inspire us tonight. Rachel's a 3-star diamond. I think that's going to be changing soon, isn't it? Now. So we'll just say right now, Rachel right now at this very second is a 3-star diamond. She became a 6-figure earner in less than 2 years. And she had a huge accomplishment yesterday, which I'm going to let her tell you about. She's full-time in this. She is a Success Club legend now, right? Legend? All-star? Success Club All-Star, and meaning she's hit 12 plus months in Success Club. And she's doing incredible things with her business, and she is changing the lives of so many people, including us, because I want you guys to think of Rachel as, and I think I said this last time you're on the call, Rachel is like your great-great-grandma. So there's like me, and then there's Natalie, and then there's Rachel. So Natalie's coach is Rachel. So she's like your great-great-grandma. So we're all in the same family here. So Rachel, just inspire the heck out of us. Take it away.
Thank you. And it's so good seeing some of your familiar faces. I love getting on these calls, especially when they're in the downline, because I don't get to see you guys as often as I would like. So thanks for having me again and for listening to me. Kelsey had actually asked me to speak again on her call at the retreat. And she reminded me like last week, and she's like, hey, are you still up for it? And I was like, yeah, what do you want me to talk about? Absolutely. And she said, just inspire my team. So my goal tonight is to hopefully, when you get off this call, that you are so inspired that you just want to go and like jump for joy and get to work and just crush the end of the year. So I don't have anything written down. I'm completely going off of what my heart is tonight and what comes out of my mouth. So I might be a little bit all over the place. I think I do best when I don't have things prepared. Typically, if I'm talking about a specific topic, though, I will be prepared. So I'm not always all over the place. But I want to talk a little bit more. I just actually want to touch base about the retreat because, guys, I've been coaching for 2.5 years, and a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, I put on my vision board that I was going to host a retreat in 2016. I had like literally 1 or 2 coaches at that point. I didn't have a team. I didn't know if I was going to have a team. I had no idea how I was going to make this happen because I wasn't making the income that I am now making. But I put it on my dream board because I knew that it was something that I really wanted to push for, and I really wanted to give back. If so a couple of girls on the team will say my love language is giving gifts, and it's totally me. When they said that, I was like, oh my God, that is me. I love to give to people. It makes me feel great about myself. It's something that I love. So when I was planning this retreat, I knew I was going to do it. I didn't know where, just like Kelsey doesn't know where. I didn't know who was going to come because, luckily Kelsey has an incredible team. I didn't have a team yet. But I put it on my vision board, and I worked every single day to accomplish that, and I did it. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about my vision board tonight. But again, I'm going to be a little bit all over the place. But I want you guys to think about it. What in football, I hope because I'm basing this question off of Kelsey because Kelsey is a huge football fan, and I hope her team is like similar. But in football, what quarter is the most important quarter of a football game? The 4th quarter. Why? Because that's when the team that shows up, works harder, does everything that they can will win, right? The team that does the hardest work, that comes together, that pushes, will be victorious of that game, right? So I want you guys to think of your businesses like a football game. We are in our fourth quarter of our business. And guess what? This is the time where majority of Beachbody coaches take a step back because they worked so hard January through September and did all of these things. Maybe they didn't, but they take a step back October, November, December, because everybody in the world takes a step back because we have holidays, we have events, we have all of these things that come up, and it's like right after another, right? So it's such a good excuse to take a step back and just kind of hope and wish for things to change. But not us and not our team, because you guys are still a part of my team. You guys are still a part of the huge accomplishment that I just did that I'm going to talk to you about. But we are different from every other Beachbody coaching team out there. We are not like the other people. We push hard and go balls to the wall in the fourth quarter so that we come out victorious, so that we end the year of 2016 the best year yet. Because guys, I'm going to tell you something. What happens these next 3 months is what will set you up for a 2016. So it doesn't matter when you started coaching. I know someone hasn't even signed up yet. That's on the call, I think. I heard that, right? And whether you started yesterday, whether you started a year ago, it does not matter when you started. It matters what you do today. It matters what you do from today and every single day leading up to December 31st is what is going to matter. Because I promise you, if you give these next 2.5 months everything that you possibly can give, in January, in February, in March, you can let off when every other freaking coach is hustling hard. That is when you can let off the brake. You're never going to stop because that's not what we do. We don't stop just doing our daily activities, but we can let off the brake. So what I mean by that is going 10 times harder. Imagine if, say, your daily activities, you message 3 people a day. Imagine if you do 10 people every single day until December. Can you imagine where your business will be by the end of the year? Can you imagine what you are setting yourself up for 2017? You're guaranteed success because you're working your ass off for that. So I ask of you guys to not fall into that statistic where all the Beachbody coaches take this month off. You'll hear it all the time where coaches will say, we're heading into the hardest quarter of our time, of our community, of our work, I guess. I never like to call this work. But you'll always hear people say, oh, well, it's harder to hit Success Club because we're in the fourth quarter, or it's harder to achieve these rank goals because all the holidays are coming up and people aren't focused. Well, guess what? It's gonna be hard if you tell yourself that. I promise you. If you change your mindset, if you go into this last couple months knowing that you are just going to just lay it all out there, give it all you got, because guess what do you have left to lose? Probably nothing, honestly. You have nothing. Maybe you'll get a few more no's. Who cares? They'll come back around. Promise you that. So I ask of you guys as a team, and I know you are all pushing so hard for the next couple of weeks to get this team to a 5-star elite team. And I ask of you, and I challenge each and every single one of you to do whatever it takes to push yourself, because like I said, however you end this quarter, this year, is going to give you a 2017. So when 2017 comes, your mind is going to be completely blown. Guys, my second year of my business is when my business took off. And it's because I worked up until every single day of my business. I never quit. I never stopped. I never let off because I didn't want to. And I was excited. And I love helping people. And I love helping goals. I love helping goals. I love reaching goals. I tell you, I make up words all the time. So I want to share with you guys more about your vision, and I want to talk more about that because I think that's kind of where I separate myself a lot from a lot of other coaches. I came into this business specifically to earn some kind of income, to give back to my family, to help contribute some way, shape, or form. And my number one goal as a Beachbody coach initially was to get myself out of credit card debt. And I did that within my first year. We had $10,000 plus in credit card debt. In my first year of coaching, I was able to pay that off because I had a really strict plan and I had a really strict goal, right? So Kelsey also mentioned that, I'm jumping around real quick. I'm not an all-star legend. And yeah, I've been coaching for 2.5 years. So what does that mean? That means I didn't hit Success Club every single month in my business for 2.5 years straight. And I want to talk to you guys about this because I think this is so important, because as newer coaches, or even if you've been in here for a year or so, we tend to just think that all the successful coaches have it easy. And that's not really true at all. And I'm like spitting image of that because I struggled the first 10 months of my business hitting Success Club consistently. I struggled. I was like on and off every other month because I didn't really understand how to invite people to challenge groups. I didn't understand the consistency of running challenge groups. And then it got to a point in my business where 2 of my rock star coaches had achieved Success Club and I missed it. And I just remember that feeling of feeling so defeated, and not that I didn't feel like a leader like I should have been. And I was just so sick of not achieving Success Club, and I really wanted it. So I made a goal for myself that in October of 2014, I was going to achieve Success Club for 12 months. And I did it because I was so focused on that goal. I didn't care about anything else in that business. I knew that if I helped 3 people every single month, that my business was initially going to grow no matter what, because I'm constantly bringing people in. But I knew I was going to get that achievement, that all-star rank, and I wanted it so bad. But the problem, guys, is that December of 2015, I missed Success Club. And it's because I went into that 4th quarter with that mindset of I can step back. I just achieved Success Club All-Star. I don't need to work as hard anymore. And I shot myself in the foot. I screwed up. I made a big business mistake. I let up when I should have been pushing harder. I'm now 10 months. I had to do it all over again, 10 months. So I'm doing All-Star times 2. It's fine. So I want you guys to understand that you're going to come through hurdles, and there's going to be times where you're going to feel so defeated. But I need you guys to understand that you have to be so focused on what your goals are, right? So coming up, I might actually cry, and I don't know if I have any more tears left in me. But when I started coaching, I needed that financial freedom in my life. I needed some kind of income to give back. I've always been a person that has worked for what I got, worked for my things. I've always been independent that way. I've always provided for myself and for others. I've never really had to have someone else provide for me. And in 2013, before I started coaching, my husband, bless his heart, had to provide for me. And it was a really hard thing for me to accept. Like I couldn't like stomach it, him having to actually pay for my bills, and on top of that, pay for my student loan bills that he didn't go to school for. Like he didn't go to my school to achieve my degree that I don't even use. I did that. I made that decision. And for the fact that he, like, without a doubt, just like picked up my payment because I wasn't working and because I wasn't making any kind of income, was mind-blowing to me. And I remember it was a feeling that I never wanted to feel again. And he paid my student loan for a good year because I just couldn't do it. So when I decided to go for Beachbody, and when I became a diamond coach, my upline, Liz Harkey, you guys probably know her, she asked me one question, and she said, what are you working for, income or rank? Because we all know that diamond is the stepping stone. We don't just skip diamond and we don't achieve our big goals at emerald. We have to get to diamond. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I said, I really want to push for income. Like that's, I think, what's going to change my life. And so I set this big goal, is becoming debt free. So that's when I kind of became credit card debt free. And in December of last year, 2015, I still go back onto my Facebook and I will pull up the post because I cannot believe it. I put out there on social media in the Facebook world that I was going to pay off my entire student loan debt in 1 year's time frame. Guys, I owed $35,000 on that loan. Like, that's kind of crazy when you think about it. So what did I do? I came up with a plan. I knew what I had to do. I knew the basics of what I had to do. And when I'm talking about this, I'm still saying I still hit Success Club. I still rank advanced. I still did all of the daily activities that I needed to do in order to make this happen. But I stayed so goddamn focused when everything else was going on in the Beachbody world on Thursdays. I stayed to my goals. I stayed to what I was working towards. I didn't get distracted because when I set myself a goal, I am like insanely focused on that goal. I don't care what else happens. I don't, because I know I'm going to do it. And Tuesday, I freaking paid off my entire $35,000 student loan to my name. If you haven't watched the video, go and watch it. It's on my Facebook page. But holy mother effing shit. Like, I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that in 10 months, guys, I gave myself 12 months. I gave myself a year to pay that off. And then trust me, when I was making the additional payments in January, February, March, and I didn't see that freaking loan make a dent, I thought I was crazy. And I questioned myself, am I really going to do this? Like, is this actually obtainable? Is my plan right? Are my goals right? Am I doing the right thing? But I believed in myself, right? I gave myself a shot and I said, I'm just going to do it. And it really started to hit me, I think, in June when I had 4 payments left. And then in July when I had 3 payments left. And then I think I blacked out this whole week because it's gone. Like, I don't know what to do with myself, because when we get paid tomorrow, that chunk of money that I was putting away towards that loan goes into my bank account. That's my money now. I don't have to give that to someone. And it's because I stayed so goddamn focused onto what my goals were. I stayed so focused on what my vision was. My family is financially free. Why? Because of me. It's not because of what my husband did. He's in the military. He can only earn so much money. They get a solid straight paycheck no matter what, whether they do good or bad. It's the same. I saw the potential in this business. I knew what it could do for my family, and I freaking did it. And do you know how, like my heart is going to come out of my chest? It hurts right now. Do you know how incredible it feels to accomplish a goal that was supposed to take you 15 years to pay off? I mean, how many on here, show of hands, have debt? All of us have debt, right? So can you imagine paying off $35,000 in a year? And just to think, next year, that $35,000 goes to something else, something that I choose. I have control of where I put that money. And it's probably going to go right back into you guys, into my team, because that's what I love to do. But I need you guys to really understand that it's not like I could not have achieved that if I was an Emerald coach. That wouldn't be obtainable because I would be maxing out on my income every single week. And I wasn't going to be a leader at an Emerald coach. And I couldn't even really have done that at Diamond, to be completely honest. Yeah, we all push for Diamond, guys. But I really so hardly challenge you to push for beyond Diamond, because Diamond is like the fun change. You can get to Diamond by yourself, but the second that you can get to a Star Diamond, it's completely off of you. It has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with your team and what your team looks like and your team culture. And that's the exciting part, is when you can see people on your team grow successfully. One of the most incredible things I have the privilege of doing in honor of seeing is my coaches achieve their goals. Seeing Natalie Bailey go on her elite leadership retreat has been like my heart is just so goddamn happy for her, because she's had to miss out on so much this year. Seeing Kelsey and what she has done, guys, your own leader, seeing what she has done this year alone completely like blows my mind. And I know that you guys are all going to end this year as a 5-star elite team because it's meant to be. And I know you all believe. I believe in you guys. I mean, shit, you have to do it. And I don't ever say you have to do anything. So, not to put any pressure. But I'm dead serious, guys. I need you guys to end this fourth quarter like so strong, because ask yourself, what do you actually have left to lose? What do you have left to lose? Nothing. You grow your business further? Oh, that's really going to hurt. No, it's not. It's going to be incredible when you can get there and you can say, you know what? I gave it all that I could. And now I'm going to have a badass 2017. I want you guys to really see where you're going with this business. Because if I never had a vision board and if I didn't know what I was working towards every single day, I don't think I would have been able to achieve what I've been able to achieve. And I'm going to go through another hard point, like probably this next week, because I need to refocus. And because I've accomplished so much in my business, I need to figure out what I'm working for next. And I have some ideas up my sleeve, but it's something that I'm going to have to go through. And you're going to have to go through that too. When you hit these big goals, it's like you work so goddamn hard to achieve these goals. And then you achieve them because you're just like mind blown that they happened. And then you're like, okay, well, now what? What's next? And you have to continue to dream. I mean, realistically, what's next for me is buying a house. And buying a house, I probably should not be able to afford. I mean, when I look at the numbers of what we got pre-approved for, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I should have said this in the beginning, but guys, my background story, I've never really had anything kind of crazy happen to me. I'm a very normal person. Not that like if you have anything wrong, it's not normal, but like I grew up a very good family. My parents raised me well. I had a lot of friends. Like things were very good for me. And I feel like for me, at least, I felt like something really bad had to happen for me in order for me to be successful. And that was just me getting in my own way. That doesn't have to happen. No, I'm freaking successful because I work hard and I show up every single day. And the last thing I actually want to touch base on, because I was just talking about this on another call, is we tend to like let other people's opinions and judgment sink into our heads. Like we're afraid of what other people might think of us if we're doing something different, if we're not doing the traditional thing, right? Because if you think about it on the Facebook world, we're like the crazy lunatics that are trying to do this big Beachbody thing, right? But why are we letting the thoughts and the opinions of other people that we barely know affect us from what we're capable of achieving? Because at the end of the day, guys, other people's opinions do not pay your bills. So why are you going to let them affect what you're doing? And why are you going to let those opinions affect your greatness in this business? I'm a normal person. I had a ton of debt, like every normal college person, right? I got married at a really young age. That's not normal at all. But it's having the bigger purpose. Why are you here? What is it that you want to achieve? And it's not just, I want to help people be successful or to help them lose weight and be healthy. Of course, you wouldn't have signed up to be a coach if you didn't want to do that. That'd be so backhanded if you signed up to be a coach and didn't want to help people. I'm talking, get real with yourselves. Think bigger. Because when I put that 6 figures in 2 years, I laughed at myself. I was like, there's no way in hell I can achieve that. When I put my diamond retreat up there, I didn't have a team. And when I put up there, be financially free, I never imagined that the day would come where I'm officially financially free. I never thought that these things could happen. But I knew they could eventually if I showed up every single day to my business and I just believed in myself and I did the things that we're taught to do. Right? So when we get to a certain point in our businesses, we tend to kind of like change our hats a little bit. Like we come in as a new coach and we're so excited and we're so ready to learn and eager to do all the things that new coaches do, like run a challenge group, help 3 people, share about your excitement on Facebook. But when we get to a certain point in our businesses, we feel like we have to take that hat off and put on a different hat. And we feel like we have to create all of these systems in order to be successful. Guys, that's not true. That's not true at all. You have to continue to do what you did as a new coach. You have to be excited about this business. You have to continue to help 3 people every single month, non-negotiable. And you have to show up for your coaches and show up for them. And everything else will fall into place. Don't feel like you have to have all of these systems in place to be successful. You just have to do exactly what brought you into the business, and you will be successful. Oh, how'd I do? Any questions?
That was awesome. We have lots of time left, guys. So if you want to unmute and ask Rachel some questions, please feel free to do so. But Rachel, that was awesome. And congratulations again on what you've accomplished. That's insane. And I realized, like, whenever we listen to the story, there's a really solid chance that a lot of us might start being like, well, that could never happen to me. And I was guilty of doing that in the past, and that only held me back, guys. It's not until you literally, the thing is like, she's had that in her brain for so long. Like, she is going to do that. Like, the thing about this business and anything, and in life, to be honest, is when you want something bad enough and you think about it constantly and you do whatever you have to do every single day to make it happen, I promise you it will happen. Like, it really will happen. But you obviously have to take the steps to get there. But like, if you could become obsessed with it, like Rachel was obsessed with the fact that she could get herself out of debt. She was obsessed with the fact that she could hit 6 figures in 2 years. Obsessed with the fact that she could hit success level 12 months in a row, and then she wasn't obsessed with it anymore. What happened, right? When you're obsessed with what you're doing and what you're working for, like, it's going to naturally happen. Like, I was obsessed with quitting my job. I was obsessed with hitting Success Club 10 All-Star last year. And those two things happened. I mean, Success Club 10 All-Star was something that I was focused on for a weird reason. I don't know why. That's what I wanted last year, but it happened because that's what I wanted. But look how much my vision has grown since that time. Because I wrote myself a $100,000 check. I wrote myself that. Like, that's how specific I'm getting. Natalie made me take my elite picture at her retreat. She made me take the elite picture. Like, that's how specific. I had my Jeep up here. Like, I know what I want. Like, I know what I want. But that's the thing is, like, I don't think that I've ever been that specific before. But when we're that specific about what we want, and like, I literally have to stare at that thing every single, and yeah, Erica has hers too. Like, I literally, like, will be sitting here typing, and somebody will be like, no, I don't want to buy your challenge pack from you. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get back to work. You know, like, I see it there. I know what I'm working for every single day. And like, honestly, Rachel, this is just like, it reminded me of like what this whole thing is about. It's like doing the small basic things every single day, but knowing exactly what you're working for. And I did really like that you did say, because I tell them this all the time, that like getting to emeralds is great, but like getting to diamond is where it starts. And I don't just say that because it's like, oh, we're shooting for a big goal. I really do say that because like I get on these calls with you guys and you guys are telling me you want all this great stuff in your life. And I'll be honest, it's not going to happen as a normal coach. Like, we always got to be moving forward, you know, shooting for diamond, shooting for star diamond. When you hit diamond, it's like, okay, let's go for the next one. Let's get my coach to diamond. And like Rachel said, it's way more fun for me to watch it happen for you guys. Like, when Erica hit 1 star, I was like, oh my God, like, I have a star diamond coach on my team. Like, whenever like Rebecca and Alicia hit diamond, like, that was super freaking cool for me. Like, I like that stuff. And when it starts happening for you too, it's going to change. Like, your whole mindset's going to change. So, does anybody have any questions for Rachel? Any thoughts, comments? Nothing?
I have one. So financial is definitely something like big for me too. How did you just create your plan of how you were going to pay things off by yourself, or did you follow any type of certain plan to get those things paid off?
So, hey, Woody, sorry, husband. So when I went to my first summit, the guest speaker was Chris Hogan, who actually spoke a lot about the Dave Ramsey. I don't know if he's affiliated with Dave Ramsey or not, But it was the same concept of the snowball effect. And that was literally what taught me how to get out of debt, because no one really teaches you how to get out of debt. They teach you how to get in debt. They don't teach you how to get out of it. So I applied. I actually made my husband watch the video when I got home from Summit, because I was like, I'm getting us out of debt. Like, I'm going to make this happen. And we did exactly what that system followed. So the snowball effect is you take all of your credit card debt, you like put them in a list. And what you do is you put all of your expenses in a list, and you see what you can afford to pay off with your lowest balance. And then once you pay that off, you roll that amount into the next card and pay that one off, and like roll it. So we came up with a plan as to, we took our smallest, we figured out what we could pay for that, paid off the first one, and then we just rolled that money right over. That was for my credit card. And like I said, when I have a goal, like, it was funny, I was just telling my husband this, and I was like, okay, well, now what can I work towards? Like, what should I achieve next? And so we actually set a goal for our savings account. So that's like my main focus. I have a number, I know what I need to do, so I'm going to do it. So with my student loan debt, in December of 2015, I was just like, something came over me, and I was so sick of paying that bill, where I took all of our expenses and I took where our money was going, and I just kind of like put it on paper to see it. And I said, okay, if I want to pay this off in 2 years, I took the balance, divided it by 12, divided it by 4 to see what I had to pay every single week. And I had that number. It was a big number, I'm not going to lie. But I worked towards that. And I said, if I can put at least that amount away every single week, I can pay this much off a month. And when some months I had extra cash, I would put more into it. So the money that I do make, I still live like I do when I was like 23, like before Beachbody. I still live that same lifestyle. I don't really, the rich and the glittery and things, like I don't need to spend money on myself. I don't really care about that. I'd rather spend money on other things or other people, honestly. So that was just the big goal, is we still have our food budget. We still know what we have to pay for our utilities. We give ourselves like $100-200 for play money for like going out to eat, or if we want to go do something. We have our gas budget. Like, we're very budget oriented. And when I have a goal, like I will go crazy and like do whatever it takes to get that goal. And so, I mean, yeah, there was some things that we had to kind of put on the back burner. But I mean, nothing beats what it just accomplished. I hope that helps.
No, thank you. That was very helpful. I'm the same way. Like, I already have everything budgeted. There's just not, much flex room right now, but working on that, and I want to make a plan where I can do those things too. So thank you for sharing.
Anybody else? Comments? Anything you're going through? It isn't necessarily about what you talked about that you would want advice on, thoughts on? New coaches, anything you want to ask about? Probably haven't even had to get started right calls yet. All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything, then I'll let you guys go early tonight. Next week we have Rachel. My biggest takeaway of the night was, at the end of the day, other people's opinions don't pay your bills. I wrote it down on a sticky note, like as you said it, so I could have it in front of me, because it's so true. I lose coaches all the time to people just because they don't like the way that people are talking about them, or they don't like the responses they're getting. And I think we all need a reminder of that every once in a while. So thank you for saying that again. But yeah, so next week, guys, we have Brad Bizjack talking on our call. And what's funny about Brad, and this is a little funny story, is that whenever Natalie introduced the business opportunity to me, she asked me to get on the Team Drop the Cookie call. And Brad Bizjack was the person speaking on that call that night. And I know you guys are probably like, wait, a guy is coming on to talk to our team of girls? But I promise you, this is like going to motivate your socks off. He's one of the reasons that pushed me into becoming a coach. I sat there. I remember where I was laying in my apartment in West Virginia when I was sitting there with the lights off and Zach was asleep and I had my headphones on and I was listening to this call and it pushed me into action. And I literally texted the next day and said, okay, let's do this. And it was just, and he's still, obviously he's a 5-star diamond coach and he's pushing for big stuff in his business too, which is just super cool. Do you guys get to hear it from a guy's perspective next week, which I think is really cool. And I'm excited to have him on the call. So just keep pushing, guys. We're toward the end of the month and get fired up. Shout out to Leah who locked in Success Club as we were on the call. It's really awesome. Like I'm literally I just see dings come up on the side of my screen, as I'm sitting here, and that's motivating as hell. Let's keep changing lives. Let's really finish the end of this month very strong. Let's get excited about the lives we can change. And if you're sitting there right now and you feel defeated and you feel discouraged, this is the time right now to change your mindset and to just go full force to finish out this month. And like Rachel said, finish out this year extremely strong because we have so much time to make some incredible stuff happen. And guys, can you imagine what it's going to feel like on December 31st when you wake up and you're recognized for everything you should be recognized as, and you're walking into 2017 with a kick-ass team. That's going to feel really good. And that's not what I had last year. It was me by myself on January 1st. By myself. And look what I have now. That's crazy. Well, I had Erica for 2 days, but that's it. It was basically me by myself. I didn't know if she was going to run with the business. So I recommend that you guys don't do what I do. I recommend that you start now and you push and you help your new coaches get started right. Give them the tools that they need to succeed. Step into that leadership role and grow within yourself. And that's it. All right, let's finish out this month strong. And I'm excited to show you guys your Success Club board tomorrow. It's pretty impressive. All right, guys, have a good rest of your night. Thanks, Rachel.